Peace and blessings, Israelite family. Welcome back to Couch Conversation. Today the conversation is going to be Jezebel. We know we have a lot of our Hebrew Israelite sisters who have come into this truth, and what we need to do is learn to get rid of that Jezebel spirit that we may have had when we are out in the world or in that Sunday church. So we're going to go ahead and get into this conversation. So go ahead and get your Bibles and let's get started.
1 Kings 16 and verse 30. It reads, "And Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of the Lord above all that were before him. And it came to pass, as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ithbaal, king of the Zidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him. And he reared up an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he had built in Samaria. And Ahab made a grove, and Ahab did more to provoke the Lord God of Israel to anger than all the kings of Israel that were before him."
All right, so you know, if Ahab did more to provoke the Lord than all the kings of Israel that were before him, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he had a foreign woman, Jezebel, that he married, and she was a very wicked woman, and she came with her own God. And so a lot of the stuff that he did, it was a lot of her hand in the evil works that were going on in Israel through Ahab and Jezebel. And I mean, we see a lot of this today. You have a lot of tag team couples, you know, where the man, we ain't gonna call him what he is, I'm gonna be nice, you know, he ain't got no backbone, and the women running it. And that's what we see a lot of going on today in Israel. We have a lot of our women running the house. Why? Because they used to being single mothers. You know, we raised the boys, we did this, you know, they controlled the money, and so when they come into this truth, they don't know how to quell their spirit of letting a man usurp authority over them. And so you may hear Brother Reggie say, women gonna bow. We are. That simply means we're gonna serve. But you know, our mind has been so tainted to think, I ain't gonna bow to no Negro, you know.
That's basically what we're saying.
You know, but you'll bow to that white man, I guarantee you that right now. You'll do what he says. So that shows you the mindset of our women, because we think of bow as a negative thing. It's not a negative thing to serve and to honor the men, the true men of Israel. Now,
1 Kings 18 and verse 4. "For it was so, when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave, and fed them with bread and water."
All right. So it says, "For it was so when Jezebel," she the one did this, not Ahab, and he was the king. In verse 4, she cut the prophets off of the Lord. "That Obadiah took 100 prophets and he hid them in the cave and fed them with bread and water." Why? Because of a wicked woman. And so they say, oh, and you even hear sometimes, oh, Elijah was running from a woman. No, she had the backing of the men behind her, just like y'all have the backing of these police officers. Those are y'all prophets. And you have the backing of the government. You just like Jezebel. Those are the prophets today for us to cut off our men, our men who want to stand up and be dads, our men who want to stand up and lead
like they're supposed to.
Yes, but the first thing you hear is our women coming and cutting them down. But when he was out there in the streets, you don't hear them. They don't have no problem.
They don't have a problem.
But when he comes to establish righteousness and judgment, justice and truth in our lives, that's when Jezebel coming out.
That's when that mouth
you will see her act up. And so this just shows you how if a man does not establish control he's going to have a problem.
Yep.
So men, when you're looking for a woman, get you a Hebrew Israelite woman, the one that you know obeys the word, one that's submissive, you know, one that's going to be able to take orders, you know, not like you got a Jezabel spirit, because a lot of our women have grew up around other women that has these same characteristics, where they were in a single parent home and their mom ran the house, and so they used to, ain't no man gonna tell me what to do, and you know, she always say, your sorry ass dad ain't worthless, and so she take on all those characteristics and brings them into your house. So you got to test that spirit before you go into this relationship, else it ain't gonna work, because you a man and you are made to dominate, and you can't dominate that, you know, because remember, it was Eve that was deceived, not Adam. He didn't have no problem. But the devil goes to our women, and us as women, you know, we have to get smart about this, and we have to, you know, nip this thing in the bud and say, you know, am I doing this? I want to make sure I'm not doing this, because at the end of the day, you are ruining your own home.
That's true. Yeah.
You are
the
ruining.
The wicked woman teareth down.
Yeah, she tear down her own home, but a wise woman builded it
up
with her hands, and so that is what we are trying to do. Because one thing about a real man, he likes another real man. But Ahab looking on and saying, that's a real man. I'm listening to them lessons. And so now Ahab saying, okay, well, I see he a real man of Israel, so I want to take his spot because I like how he teach. You know, he teaches with authority. But they see, he says, I will give you some money for it. But one thing he got to realize, our men don't take foolishness. We don't tolerate it. Okay?
Verse 3, and Naboth said to Ahab, the Lord forbid me that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee.
All right. So they want to take the ministry so they can challenge them on every lesson. But real men of Israel, they won't sell this truth. They can't be bought. Can't. Because we understand the order, you know, God, the man, the woman, the children. It's just that simple.
It's not hard.
Order. There's nothing wrong with order, but when you got a Jezebel in the house, your house will always have some foolishness going on. I have seen it. I have actually dealt with Ahab and Jezebel myself, and I mean, this thing was off the chain. But I had to let her know, don't call me with your foolishness, because I don't know what you're doing over there, but over here we got order.
That's
so
right.
take your mess back to that Sunday church. Oh, she got there yelling and screaming and saying what she gonna do. You know my address, you know where I stay. And it'll just be on and popping, and I just put it to you that way. But I'm not gonna put up with your Jezebel attitude. I mean, just running her husband, telling him what to do, and then you think you can come to my house and bring that spirit? You got to get out of here.
You got to go.
Yeah.
They understood that if you destroy the home, you destroy the nation.
That's true.
You know?
And look at us as a people. We are destroyed as a people. But see, the thing you got to realize is you looking at the wrong one as the enemy. This man, the brothers of Israelite, they're not our enemies. The ones out here teaching and laying it out and trying to inform you and help you make the kingdom. He's not the enemy. Your enemy is the one you're working for on that job.
That's right.
See, Ahab didn't say, how did you get it? How did you come back? Because he already know what his evil wife had done. And so a lot of men, they sit there and see they women doing this foolishness on the internet, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever it is, acting a plumb fool, and they sit back, they won't say nothing.
They won't say nothing.
They won't say a word, you know. And there's been instances like, even, you know, for myself, on my job, when we used to work extended hours and stuff like that, and they would say, you know, hey, if you want some extra, you want some OT, you can work it. And I would always say, hold on, I need to call my husband.
That's right.
They thought I was the craziest person in the world. But guess what? All those who didn't, they ain't with their husband no more. Because the man probably got plans to do something else or something going on in the house that he needs. Well, I decided I'm working over. The man didn't tell me I had to. He asked me if I want to. And I would always say, well, let me ask my husband and find out, you know, what we got going on. But a lot of people were offended like that. And, you know, they would say, oh, your husband tell you what to do, this, that, and the other. But that's why they ain't got no husband today. Because they had that Jezabel spirit, and I seen it, and I didn't want it to be nowhere around me. When they are sitting and talking and having a conversation, she doing all the talking. She doing all the answering. What do you even have a husband for?
Yep, that's true.
You know, it's like you carrying him around on a leash. And the man, you shouldn't put up with that. You got to say, hey, this is the order, and this is the way it's going to run today. I don't care how much she kick, scream, fuss. This is what thus saith the Lord. You know, don't let her drag you down with her, because that's what's going to happen. And so, you know, we just got to get in this book and learn to unlearn all that mess we was taught, but that wasn't right.
2 Chronicles 21 and verse 6.
All right.
And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, like as did the house of Ahab. For he had the daughter of Ahab to wife, and he wrought that which was evil in the eyes of the Lord.
All right, so Ahab, he got some daughters. You better make sure you ain't getting one of them. Because one thing you got to know, that the daughter going to be 7 times the child of hell than her mama Jezebel.